Lots of sunshine right now. Temperature is 82 degrees, much more pleasant than it's been before. Wind is out of the north at 10 to 20 miles an hour. That could be a factor, and the forecast for the skies is what you see right now. Lots of blue, no chiffon, and lots of sunshine here today as we get started just a few days into the autumn season, according to the calendar. LSU in the gold and the Sooners in the red, and we are underway. Sarah Pollock-Dixon, Lynn Rollins with you. Thanks for joining us. Call a buddy, tell a friend the game is on, and we're just underway here. LSU has, well, let's take a look at the series history. These teams have played 6 times. LSU has won 5 of those. There's been 1 draw, but obviously this is the first time they've ever met as an SEC opponent. The last meeting was in 2012. It's been a while. LSU won in a couple of overtimes by a 1-0 count. And the first meeting ever was back in 2011, and that was the first meeting in Baton Rouge. The pitch is in excellent playing shape. And both teams right now trying to get something established. LSU coming off the 1-0 victory against Ole Miss. Texas A&M was the victim of Oklahoma 2-1 last Sunday in College Station. LSU lining it up with Sheving in goal. You see her numbers, 6-3-1 is her record. 1.40 goals against, a .632 save percentage. Oliveri and Ferguson and Cheeseman line it up defensively to start. Midfielders are Shannon, Hermansdottir, Major, Gillis, Ceballos, and forwards are Glover and Baker.
It's good work right there. Like what you did.
Thank you.
First 5 minutes here, I'm seeing, you know, the kind of stuck in the middle of the field. Both teams testing one another, looking for speed. The ball's kind of been bouncing a good bit in the air. You got LSU starting with 4 in the back, looking like maybe a 4-5-1. They've got a foul right here, teeing up. LSU's really been capitalizing on set pieces for whether it's Ilkeach, but they're playing fast right here instead of Cheeseman taking a look at a shot.
That's headed away momentarily. Hermansdottir goes down. And Oklahoma kicks it defensively away. LSU will have a chance to reset deep in its own territory. That's booted up, intended for Glover.
Now, LSU's going to look in these first 10 minutes. They're looking to see what kind of speed Oklahoma plans on bringing. They are going to test LSU. They are also going to kind of similar game plan, very similar athletes. Anytime you're seeing this, you know, obviously the SEC, it's strong, it's fast, but having a style and being able to play your style and execute is super important. So both teams are going to try to figure that out right now.
And so far in the first 4 minutes or so, it's been a game of I've got it, and then it's taken away. Lots of defense right now. Neither team able to establish any kind of offensive momentum in the first few minutes. Oklahoma has had some good numbers this year, Sarah. But, of course, it gets a lot tougher now that league schedule has started. But they have scored 29 goals. They've only allowed 8. So they have outscored their opponents by 21. That's a 2.9 goals per game average against 0.80. They've had 173 shots, which is a good many in 10 games. And they've only allowed 69. Shots on goal, Oklahoma has an 84-49 lead. So they've been a team that's outpowered the opposition so far statistically. Well, off to an 8-2 start.
They did a great job. They made Texas A&M pay for mistakes, simple mistakes, and they executed on that. LSU's got to be clean. They've got to be clean in the box, clean on the touch, clean passes, especially out of the back, because OU is going to press that, and they're going to look and to capitalize on a mistake.
And you know, Matt Mott is no stranger to the SEC. He's had 20 years of experience. He's been a head coach at Ole Miss. He's been an assistant coach at Auburn. He's the head coach now for the second year at Oklahoma. So he's returning home, so to speak, in terms of SEC action.
He's been in the coaching ranks, especially in the SEC and around for quite some time. Very familiar with his coaching style.
LSU in the gold, Oklahoma in the red. Herman's daughter initially was the target at the top of the box. Ball is loose, and LSU will replay it starting near midfield.
One of the focuses for LSU today, you know, talking about Oklahoma, they're going to capitalize on a mistake. LSU, they're wanting to fine-tune some things that they know that they can do better.
There is Caroline Duffy, an 8-2 record, a 0.82 goals against average.
It's a great cross.
Duffy has 40 saves. She's allowed 8 goals. And she actually has an assist this year, does Duffy.
Wow. Boy, that cross was from Kelsey Major on the right side. Sun's coming and went to Sage Glover on the end line. It was off her, so they got a goal kick.
Major had a medical red shirt in 2022. Last year she played every game. She's a chemistry major and a former Louisiana Gatorade High School Player of the Year. This game has started at a quick pace. And Sarah, that 10-degree difference in the temperature right now from what it has been in previous matches on this turf has made a big difference. And the wind, of course, is blowing very steadily, 10 to 20 miles an hour. It's a north breeze, which will be against LSU in the first half and with the Tigers in the second half. So right now, Oklahoma is playing with the wind at its backs offensively.
And the way the sun is coming down, that far right side, you can tell a couple of the players are having to put their hand up to create some shade element to see the ball, see what's going on this left side that's shaded a little bit more by the stadium.
Shannon works it down. Now it's taken away, but LSU regains possession. This is Ferguson working on the far sideline. Ferguson with a stutter dribble, working that sideline, gets by one, gets by another one, sends it to the middle. Look at Baker create some space, and this is going to go back to Oklahoma.
Interchanging movement, that was a run from Ferguson, who's playing in the center back position. That ball, here's the foul right here. Molly Baker, she is a brick wall, and she's going to keep pushing and pushing. It was LSU's defense, and they become a part of the attack. Ferguson sees the lane. She moves in, and a great movement there of players that are shifting into her space that she just left so that there's no hole in defense. But, that's why playing with 4, you've got 3 in the back, and they're very comfortable with that 3 in the back.
Each team has an early foul. We have not yet had a shot. LSU under Sean Hudson here in Baton Rouge against SEC opponents. 9 wins, 7 defeats, and 4 draws.
Good defensive play right there, shutting that down in the center of the field. Nevaeh Johnson, former LSU Tiger, transferred to OU last year.
Ahead to Baker, top of the box. Sends it to the right side, intended for Herman's daughter. And kicked around and rejected by Oklahoma. Now headed back to the offensive end. Let's see who comes up with it. It's going to be Oklahoma at the moment, but it's poked away. And here is LSU trying to get an attack started, but it fizzles. Just for comparison purposes, Oklahoma averaging nearly 3 goals a game.
Wow.
LSU less than 2.
Well, that's something, you know, speaking with Coach Hudson before the game, that was something they were focusing on, is executing much better with their shooting, and having the better final thoughts and decisions on where those shots are coming from, and, you know, getting those shots in the right spots and making that happen. So they worked on a lot of finishing this week in practice.
Well, let me rework the numbers for you offensively. LSU with 22 goals in 10 games, so a little above 2 per game, and holding opponents to 14 goals. LSU has outshot opponents 83-37. That's shots on goal. And outshot opponents overall 183-83. LSU has had some games in which statistically they have dominated, but haven't necessarily converted that into points. There's the team comparison. LSU at 2.2 goals a game. LSU at 18.3 shots a game, a little more than Oklahoma actually. Corner kicks, Oklahoma with the advantage there, and more saves by Oklahoma than LSU. Sometimes that number is misleading. Right now, nobody has established offensive dominance or had a real run at the net.
Kelsey Major taking on a 1v1 chance, getting Molly Baker involved with her speed. Good ball movement right there. Running that ball out of the air. It's been very much back and forth, a good even game. Both of these teams wanting to continue and build off of the momentum of their wins that they had on Sunday.
We are scoreless with 32 minutes left. There is number 22 on the right side of your screen. That is Abigail McNulty. We don't know if she's going to play, but it's very, very good news that she's on the bench right now cheering on her teammates. She had a serious or potentially serious head injury against Texas A&M. She was kneed in the head. They had to stabilize her and as a precaution and take her off in an ambulance, but she has passed all of the subsequent tests, appears to be nearly fit for duty, if not fit for duty tonight. And very good news for Abigail McNulty, for her teammates, her friends, her family.
That is great.
It's good to see her again, a senior forward, a transfer from Boston University, with a goal and an assist this year. But the good news is she's smiling, appears to be healthy, and perhaps it could have been. So again, good news that McNulty is on the bench.
Good to see her smiling for sure.
This has been a defensive battle with a couple of punctuation marks so far. Neither team really has been able to connect with 2 or 3 passes consecutively and get any sort of run or threat. Both goalkeepers have been napping to this point.
Shoving, kind of making a call right there. Changing. LSU had some players that drop. Maybe she would play out to them wide with a short ball. Instead, she said, no, push up, get up. She's going to play the long ball. Part of that reasoning, you could tell, is Oklahoma condensing and tightening up the field, not giving her an option. So playing that short ball would not be
And Sunday in College Station, Oklahoma did an excellent job on what appeared to be a routine release pass. And Oklahoma was right there to intercept it near the box and bang it home quickly. So they are quick to the ball. And Sheving wanted everybody to clear out and give her as much room as possible.
Oh, yeah, and that was the goal by Pappas on Sunday to get them on the board first against Aggies was fantastic. Great read. It's the kind of read and pick that you dream of getting, you know, that kind of opportunity. She had about 3 steps of space after she picked that ball off and was able to have a nice clear shot.
We have played 15 minutes and some change. We are scoreless. LSU has 1 shot. That's been it for both teams today so far.
Oklahoma is pressing the LSU back line as they move the ball around. Again, they're gonna look to press until you make a mistake, and then with speed they will attack. Glover putting her hands up to show she's not fouling.
Oliveri will put it in play, a sports administration major, a junior from Colorado Springs. Oliveri tries to send it to a teammate. LSU will back up with it and reset. Now the lead down into the offensive zone. Baker is there. Let's see what she can do. Stutter dribble, tries to punch it to the middle and misses Hermansdottir, but it's collected momentarily by Glover.
Glover kind of dancing with the ball, lost it, really wanted to keep her toe on that and keep possession there. Good tracking back.
You know, Sarah, you were talking about the the players shading their eyes in the sun. So are the officials today.
Yeah. Molly Baker with a great turn at midfield, of course, has a defender on her. They're almost like nobody's going to leave Molly Baker alone. There's a shot, the left foot from Kelsey Major, wishing she had a little bit better contact there. Those are those moments. Those are the types of shots where Coach Hudson's talking about. That final shot needs to be better executed. Take that with composure. Take that like you've been there before. So missing your mark and doing that more consistently.
You know, earlier I mentioned that Kelsey Major was the Louisiana Gatorade High School Player of the Year in soccer, but she really had a double victory that year, something very unusual. She was also the Gatorade High School Cross Country participant of the year in the same year. That's an amazing accomplishment to be the best in the state in both soccer and cross country.
And then a chemistry major?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Two shots for the Tigers, 1 on goal. No offerings yet for Oklahoma. That's headed to the middle. 3 defenders are there, and LSU takes it away. That's Ceballos.
Great split pass right there. Good win by Ceballos. Ball handling skills just on point right there.
Ceballos sends it up, but a little bit past Hermansdottir. LSU will have a chance to ditch it on the right side and does so. A defensive kick out of bounds by Tori Gillis, a kinesiology major.
Gillis, you can tell, is the heartbeat of that back line. She's doing a majority of the communication, telling people when to step up, talking to her line, and letting them know where to be, and really being the communicator on the field.
Oklahoma wanted a handball, and that's what it got, inadvertently hitting the hand of Hermansdottir. Let's take another look. Watch Hermansdottir in the middle of your screen at the top. Tried to get out of the way, and that one got her on the elbow. That looked like it hit the post. It hit the post and rejected left side. An assist for Sheving.
I believe, too, they're calling it offside. I see this, the right linesman had his flag up.
That was Leonie Weber. Now, she spells her last name W-E-B-E-R, which you would think would be Weber or Weber, but it's of German influence. It's Weber, and she has been prolific this year, 4 goals and 6 assists. Her 4 goals actually are tied for second on the Sooners this year.
She's definitely a threat, and you don't want to give her time. You don't want to give her space.
Weber is from Munich, Germany, a 5'7" senior. LSU trying to string 2 or 3 effective passes together.
That's good movement there, working that.
Hermannsdottir slips it over to Oliveri. And it will stay with the Tigers as LSU deploys to take it in from the sideline. This has been a defensive struggle after 22 minutes in the first half. 2 shots for the Tigers, 1 on goal, and no offerings for Oklahoma. That ball with a lot of backspin. Look at that bounce. It stays in play momentarily. They're going to let both teams continue. Shannon shoots it up to the offensive end near midfield. LSU on the move ahead to Hermannsdottir. Tries to punch it into the box, and it didn't get there. Molly Baker was the intended target, but she got jammed right on the stripe.
Danielle Shannon did a great job with that. You know, the ball that was picked off. So Hermannsdottir was trying to, you said punch, a good little kind of pop over the back line. Danielle Shannon did a great job of defending in that midfield and kind of stopping a very...
"22 minutes to go in the first half. And they have assessed a yellow card.
Are they giving?
They're giving Danielle Shannon a yellow card. So Oklahoma's goalkeeper, Duffy, comes out and hits one all the way into the box. And this is going to go back to LSU after the deflection. Well, so far, a mammoth defensive effort by both teams.
Really is. It's been the game's been played in the middle of the field. Very, very much so. You haven't seen too many very forward-moving, attacking strikes or moments. It's really been stuck in the middle and going back and forth there.
The wind continues to blow out of the north at 10 to 20 miles an hour. It is at the backs of the Sooners in the first half.
We've got quite a few subs, fresh legs coming in for LSU.
Amsden is in, Ava Amsden. Ceballos will get a rest. Angie Thawson is in, and Major comes out for the Tigers. Ilkish also in for LSU, and Baker gets a rest. Ilkish hit the game-winning goal on Sunday against Ole Miss. And it was Michelle Pack, who had the game-winning goal against Texas A&M for the Sooners on Sunday.
Ilkish coming in. She's been on a streak right now. with set piece goals. All 3 of her goals in the season are coming off of set pieces.
One thing I've noticed, Sarah, over the course of the first third of the season here, and that is Oklahoma will substitute far less than LSU. In fact, they've had 10 players start every match this year, so they've had a remarkably consistent starting unit. But they only play 4 or 5 people off the bench most games. LSU will go much deeper than that and may approach 20 or exceed 20 players in a match. Oklahoma does not. Here's an opportunity and an errant kick. That one had no chance. High and away to the right side. That offering by Sophia Green, who has 4 goals and 3 assists. And she's one of those 10 players who has started every game so far for Oklahoma.
Well, and that ball, she did. She had some space, and it was a good idea for her to, try to get a shot off. Ball was kind of bouncing, couldn't get her hips around it. The ball was on the upward part of the bounce, so the ball goes to the uprights.
That shot, errant as it was the first shot by Oklahoma and really had no chance. Hermansdottir had it taken away. Oklahoma tries to start a run, and LSU grabs it back.
Great turn.
This is punched ahead.
Gaines trying to get to that ball. Just a step behind it off that bounce.
She's a member of the U20 Puerto Rico national team, Aurora Gaines, a freshman mass communications major from Milton, Georgia.
Danielle Shannon with the ball at her feet. We hadn't used the term this year, engine room, but she is the workhorse for that engine room in the center midfield.
Well, the engine room for both teams so far tonight has not been a starting point.
But look, it's keeping both of these teams in this game. It's a sticky place on the field, and the ball's, the transition place is right there in the middle of the field.
LSU in gold. Oklahoma in the red if you've just joined us. These teams have played 6 times, but this, of course, is the first SEC battle. And LSU has never lost to Oklahoma.
Well, Oklahoma sure did bring a crowd to Baton Rouge. They've got quite a few fans. And then you have the LSU band in the stands today.
I'm just wondering if they were left over from last Saturday or getting ready for this Saturday.
Combination.
The band.
That's a treat to have the band live at the match tonight. Aurora Gaines coming out of that 50-50 battle right there, keeping the ball. Oklahoma pressing, shoving, continuing to push high, push the LSU defense back, taking up space that they like to have. And they knew that this was going to happen. They knew that this is how they played. LSU was aware that Oklahoma was going, their speed, their front runners were going to press the back line.
Neither team has been able to connect frequently on passes, and it has not taken long for the defensive team to take the ball back for either side tonight. We have played nearly 30 minutes in the opening period. We've had a total of 3 shots, 1 on goal. That was by LSU. Oklahoma has victories at North Texas against FIU, Oral Roberts, Stetson, and Missouri State. Now, they scored 15 goals combined between those 2 opponents. They have a win over ULM and a win over Tulsa, a loss to Mississippi State, a win over Texas A&M. And the other loss was at number 17 Oklahoma State. That was 1-0.
Yeah. Both of their losses were to ranked teams. Mississippi State's ranked 24th in the nation right now.
LSU has a shutout win over South Alabama. That was only the 2nd loss at home in the last 3 years for the Jaguars. That opened the season. The Tigers lost 5-2 in Baton Rouge to Arizona State. That was a 2-2 tie at the half.
Yeah.
Then LSU shut out UMass Lowell 3-0 and went on the road to defeat Old Dominion 2-1. Then tied Utah 1 apiece. The Tigers beat University of Louisiana Lafayette 3-1 here and went out to San Francisco and got a 4-1 win over San Francisco before losing to UC Davis 4-3 and then being shut out by nationally ranked Arkansas 1-0 in Fayetteville on the 19th of September, and then getting the win against Ole Miss.
There's a good connection there with passes, and Aurora Gaines, I've noticed in her 10 minutes being in the game, she does really well moving off the ball, and she did a great job of kind of a wall pass and then getting in there. And Oklahoma did a good job defending her, but that was part of that execution that they've been wanting to build up offensively. Now being able to pull the trigger, get the shot off, is they've got to start doing that more consistently. Ava Galligan's coming in for Danielle Shannon. She's another offensive threat. Good flick behind the back from Cheeseman.
There has not been a corner kick, has there? That's a bit unusual.
Yeah. Yeah, SEC soccer has truly they have inched their way into the national prime of college women's soccer, and to have we have 4 or 5 teams in the top 25 is outstanding. That was a nice cross from the right side. OU doing a great job picking that off.
One thing the Tigers have done effectively this year, and that is spread the scoring around. 11 LSU players have at least 1 goal. Shoving will watch this one move past the end line. And with 11 minutes, let's call it 11 and a half remaining in the first half, it's still 0-0, 0-0. 2 ciphers on the board right now.
It's a solid ball from Hermansdottir. Kind of a no-looker, but knowing that Tharson's on that left side. Right side, sorry. There she is. Another great player on the outside wing spot, outside mid. She loves to build speed. This is a great run here for Galligan, getting tripped.
Galligan goes down in a heap. Play on.
The fans a little upset as well, wanting a call there. Again, LSU has found momentum on set pieces off of fouls. So it's a great scoring opportunity. Good defending.
Twice good defending.
Wonderful job.
Once to stop a would-be shot, and the next time to punch the ball away from the dribble.
That's good recovery and good run right there. Jazz Ferguson, she's an incredible 1v1 defender. Miss hit there, kind of hitting it with the shin. Dangerous territory right now.
It will stay with Oklahoma. Just less than 10 minutes to go in the first half. LSU kicks it away safely. It'll go all the way to midfield. And it's going to go back to the Tigers. A free kick coming.
Free kick comes from basically obstruction. You know, defending a player, there's no ball, and kind of keeping Galligan from being able to run or go anywhere with your body, and no ball involved. It's a good call to get control of the game by the referee. Cheeseman, who is very, very good.
She can play multiple positions.
Yes, but her long ball, her precision is unreal. But a simple ball right here.
That's punched
Galligan,
into the box. Let's see if
offsides.
LSU, and that's going to be offsides. And an easy call.
But I like that play. Very creative, very smart. Trying to get Galligan behind the line right there. That was very well executed aside from
Watch
the
Galligan's
offsides.
position here as she crosses that line and clearly commits the offside penalty.
Look, that ball has to be perfect, and that was not sure. I can't see the number of who played the ball. I believe it was Olivieri, maybe.
Let's see what the Tigers do here. Herman's daughter has it on her feet. Let's see if LSU can mount something. Tigers trying to punch it through. Oklahoma peels back, puts a lot of defenders in the way. Eight minutes remain in a scoreless first half. This is a loose ball, but the Tigers are there to get it. Howdy Sheving was able to run it down.
And she is very grateful. But that ball did not keep rolling, and the pace of the ball was where it was at.
Howdy spells her first name, and this is Icelandic, A-U-D-U-R, pronounced Audi.
Challenge there. Amsden in the middle coming out of that. LSU wanting to keep possession there, but OU keeping the ball and booting it up.
Well, McNulty, about whom we spoke earlier, who suffered what appeared to be a serious injury on Sunday against Texas A&M, a head injury, but she's been cleared to play, and she's in the game right now, so it's good to see 22 in action. She is a backup forward. She has a goal and an assist out of Boston University from Stowe, Massachusetts, a 5'7" graduate student. So Abigail McNulty cleared to play after what looked like could be a serious injury against Texas A&M. They took every precaution, and certainly she's been diagnosed multiple times. No problems for McNulty. Back in action. Good to see. Both teams have two shots. LSU has the only shot on goal. Duffy comes all the way out of goal and is going to smack this free kick.
Great ball.
And that one is online and almost snuck in over the head of Audi.
That was a well.
My goodness,
taken.
Audi Sheving was tested from near midfield.
It's a well taken ball by Duffy. Great drive, a lot of pace.
That one just over the crossbar. We gave you a great, just inches away from the first goal from distance and then some. Now remember, I mentioned earlier that Duffy does have an assist this year.
I can see why. Good long throw for Oklahoma.
LSU makes first contact and the Tigers will have possession. LSU fans are swallowing their hearts after that shot from Duffy.
Ilkeish to Galligan.
Galligan plays it off her chest. Galligan one-on-one. Galligan slides it through on the right side. Goal! LSU! Ava Galligan, her fourth of the season, and the Tigers take a 1-0 lead. The breakout LSU was looking for.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Ball out of the air. Ilkeish with a great ball, kind of slotting through, winning that out of the air. Great flick. Galligan making her run. That movement off the ball. Perfect.
And the assist goes to Ilkeish, her first of the season. She's Galligan's running mate on the front line. So Galligan, a sophomore from Ashburn, Virginia, who had the goal, a game-winning goal against Tennessee last year, has picked up a goal here to give the Tigers the lead. She had 4 goals last year with 5 assists. Did Galligan. Last year an All-SEC second team member, and the year before an All-SEC freshman team member. Actually last year as well.
You know, that shot, that finish, you know, in soccer we use the word composure often. The definition of composure from Galligan right there, and that 1v1, the right touch with the space that she had so she could build up momentum and get behind that back line and use her speed. It was beautiful.
And then she played it, actually, before she went on the run, she played it twice, once off her chest, once off the head, and was sort of playing catch with a teammate, and then got the ball in front of her that she was able to run down. Well, and your word composure certainly apt in the way she approached the goalkeeper.
She and Ilkeish really did create the perfect 1-2 punch together.
Duffy does not get beaten often, but Galligan got the better of it on the one-on-one. That's only the 9th goal that Duffy has allowed the entire season, and this the 11th match. LSU 1-0. It was LSU picking up a late first half goal against Ole Miss and made that stand up for the 1-0 lead. This goal comes a couple of minutes earlier than the one against Ole Miss.
Aurora with the slide tackle, reading that ball. Amazing. Aurora Gaines coming through on a slide tackle with a 50-50, and she knew that was the best way to get there. That was beautiful.
Less than 2 minutes remain in the first half.
Free kick LSU.
Free kick LSU with time winding down as we conclude the first 45 minutes.
Look to see what Cheeseman does here. OU's number 24, Morgan Eaglebarner.
Couple of
Stand
defenders.
10 yards as a wall for Cheeseman.
Couple of defenders for LSU back near the midfield line. 6 players on the right side, 2 on the left. .40 seconds to play in the first half. Remember, LSU will have the wind at its backs offensively when we get to the second half. Seconds remaining.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And that is the conclusion of a defensive struggle that ends after 45 minutes with LSU out in front on an Ava Galligan breakaway goal. 1-0 Tigers as we hook up with Sean Hudson, who's on headset with us. Sean, certainly a defensive struggle, a mighty one by both teams in the first half, but a beautiful breakout by Galligan, and she and Ilkish really combined to make it happen for the Tigers.
Yes, Lynn, I think the Hudson is excited and proud of the lineup that she has, the bench that she has. So to see what adjustments does she make with the momentum that was building going into the half. Who is now going to come in? She's going to leave Galligan in. She's leaving Ilkic in.
One thing that the Tigers have done well, and that's to keep the ball off the feet of Erin Pappas, and she's a really good goal scorer, 6 on the year. With 1 assist, and a lot of their offense has started with her. So far, LSU has not really allowed her to get free and create as she has against other teams.
I would say that the discipline that LSU's defense and the way that they have worked, you can tell that they have worked hard to be conditioned and to be, physical, but very, they're being defensively responsible, playing very smart, and shutting down these high quality players.
I think it would be a mistake for LSU to try to draw together now and purse the defense in and really give up opportunities to score, because this Oklahoma team can put the ball in the net, and you got to play a 1-0 game like you would a 0-0 game. And right now, if LSU were to give Oklahoma a disproportionate number of chances, it could come back to be detrimental. So we'll see how much pressure LSU will play offensively, how much it will apply, how much it will take some chances in the second half when scoring opportunities become evident. I don't think you can sit on the ball here, Sarah.
No.
Not with a half to play.
Well, here's a moment right here, getting that. They're going to build some momentum. But Coach Hudson talked about the other element is spreading out the field. Oklahoma loves to, they're trying to condense the field and make LSU play small. LSU's best game is when they get to play wide, pass the ball, move, use their speed. And it's getting stuck and sticky in the center portion of the field.
Sean Hudson mentioned it in our halftime interview that she looked forward to having the ball at the backs, having the wind at the backs of the LSU players, working from north to south, left to right here in the second half. And again, that time of possession surprised me a little bit. 68%, which is a big number in the first half in favor of the Tigers. I didn't think the margin was that much. Oklahoma breaks off the kick, and this one sails all the way to the facing of the net and is gathered by Audi Sheving.
Sheving taking some time, reading the play, reading what Oklahoma in space that they are giving her, realizing the punt is what's best.
Another goal here for LSU would be huge. But of course, with a 1-0 lead, essentially, although it's not a tie, you've got to play like it is.
Look, and you know, we looked at the scores and what's going on in the SEC across the board. Look, every single night, every single game, we've ranked opponents in the SEC. Every single one is a big game. You got LSU right now in the middle of the pack. They're all trying to reach the beach in the SEC tournament. There's no night off, and so every single time that they're getting out to play, it's a clean slate. It's a championship game every night.
And a little more juice in this one, perhaps, because it's the first SEC battle between the Sooners and the Tigers, and the same can be said when Texas comes to town.
It does. It changes the atmosphere for sure. I mean, LSU and Oklahoma have played each other over the last few years in preparation of this being, you know, them coming into the SEC, and a good program building that Coach Mott is doing, but a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, especially for these two new schools that have come into the conference.
Oklahoma, of course, brings excellence with 4 consecutive softball championships, national championships. It's got a great gymnastics program.
A fun fact.
Football and basketball speak for themselves.
They do. A fun fact for you, the LSU gymnastics coaches, current LSU gymnastics coach, Jay Clark, his daughter is a cheerleader for OU.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, as a freshman on their women's cheerleading team. They have a couple different cheer teams, from my understanding. And
so LSU national champion gymnastics coach Jay Clark has a daughter who is a cheerleader at Oklahoma.
That's correct. Kinsey Clark.
Every time the ball gets there, it's potential trouble.
You know, that they've had 2 opportunities. Oklahoma's had 2 opportunities in this second half, coming from that right side, getting some crosses off. That is exactly, you haven't seen LSU do that today. And that's their bread and butter. That's what they're wanting to do. That was an element that Coach Hudson talked about, what she wants to do better in this second half, and then that was something she was going to go into the locker room and talk about. Widen out the field, get the ball out wide, get some crosses off, play the LSU game. Oklahoma found some space, and they're seeking to execute in that manner right now.
There have been only 3 shots on goal in the entire match. LSU has 2 of those, and obviously one of them successful by Gallagher. But neither goalkeeper has been tested frequently tonight. That pass is intercepted. OU trying to mount some sort of offensive attack, sends it to the right wing. There'll be a cross attempt coming, and here it is, and it is on the foot of an Oklahoma player.
Dangerous.
Fakes right, dribbles left. LSU trying to take it away, and does so. It will stay with Oklahoma, however.
And she's been kind of made me nervous there. She was pushing. I saw a little bit of hands working there, and you don't want to foul like that in the box.
That was Ella Pappas, the most predominant offensive threat with 6 goals and an assist. Those 6 goals lead Oklahoma.
And Weber taking the...
This is the first corner kick, is it not?
Corner kick, that's correct. Sheving pulling that one out of the air, doing a good job. Physical point, being knocked around, but coming out of the air with that.
You've got to be physical when that corner kick comes your way, and you've got to be mental as well, because you've got to know when to go get it and when not to.
That's a great ball by Cheeseman.
Galligan trying to run it down. And that's punched out of bounds. Oklahoma playing defense, not wanting to go against Galligan there. And
Papa's playing that ball out like that, realizing Galligan's not going to stop. So her best mode of defense was to play the ball, get the ball out.
LSU trying to get to it first, and does. 1-0. LSU on the assist by Andrea Ilkic and the goal by Ava Galligan.
Oh.
An LSU player goes down. There'll be a stoppage of play. That is Jasmine Ferguson, a transfer from East Carolina University. She had 37 starts there and was the AAC Freshman of the Year and the AAC Co-Defensive Player of the Year as a sophomore. And she got inadvertently struck right on the beak.
Please review.
They're going to look at this to determine intent or the lack thereof.
Yeah, and that's something, another thing we saw Coach Hudson speaking to the refs a little bit at halftime. There's a couple calls that she feels were not made. When, you know, Galligan first came into the game, there was a foul there. So she's wanting some control of the game. She's wanting to protect her players, kind of get some control in terms of...
Bow to the nose. And it looks like it's going to be a short review. And we'll see if there is any intent ruled. Well, perhaps a few more looks are warranted. You know, Sarah, you've heard me offer the opinion that a public address system would be good in volleyball. It would be good here, too, if the official had access to the public address system here to explain what they're looking at and explain their findings. And I think it adds to the enjoyment and the knowledge of the fans here.
I would agree. I think I'm going to agree with you tonight.
So I don't think they called anything.
He's not going to give her a card after review. He's saying that the call stands.
That was not ruled flagrant.
Free kick for the Tigers.
And here we go. A free kick coming for LSU. Sydney Cheeseman will strike it for the Tigers. Her first 2 years were at North Carolina. Right now, LSU has been outshot 5-3, but holds the edge in shots on goal 2-1. That's ahead to Galligan, back to the goal, and it goes out of bounds. Cheeseman touched it last. Oh, I beg your pardon, that was Thawson who touched it last. Let's update you with Texas and Ole Miss battling in Oxford. It's scoreless in the second half. 29 minutes to go. The winner of this game will move to 2-1 in conference play.
With a flick from Galligan. Ilkic battling it out. Solid defending from England.
Ilkic, a member of the Croatian national team.
A good turn.
Sends it to the middle. It's intercepted.
I like that cross. Great play defensively, picking that off by OU.
This is Cheeseman right side. Shoots it ahead. Back kick on the foot momentarily of Hermansdottir. She's still chasing it. Ball is loose. Hermansdottir taking it down near the corner. Right at the goal. Is it in?
Wow.
Yes, it is. Goal! LSU. Hermansdottir, her 7th of the year. She would not be denied. She survived a lot of contact and somehow kept contact with the ball, was able to create a one-on-one, and it's Hermansdottir who has given LSU a 2-0 lead.
Unbelievable. Keeping the ball at her feet, battling through 5-6 players there. And at one point couldn't tell where the ball was, thought it went out on that near post. And obviously she was able to get a little flick in.
Nutmeg at the goal.
Yes, it was. But that's the kind of artistry and the creativity that Coach Hudson wants them to be more dynamic and play the game. That was beautiful.
That is a huge goal, providing LSU with a 2-0 lead, and they are going to review. There's another look at this. Again, this is where, if the official would make a public address announcement, what they are looking for and why. It's not too much to ask, and it would add so much to the spectator portion of the game.
The only thing is that maybe the ball going out of bounds on that inline. It is a goal.
LSU fans cheer with the announcement. And how about the work by Ilkic again, down helping Hermansdottir. Those two able to find a little bit of a rhythm down there in scoring territory. But Ilkic had a part of that. I don't think she's going to get an assist, but she was able to keep that possession alive and get it to Hermansdottir.
Well, it was continuing to push that play and having numbers against a defense. And so the fact that they had 3 LSU players that were continuing to move forward and keep the ball and keep possession, and Hermansdottir doing a great job of powering through it, you know, staying strong on the ball as players are trying to get it from her. She was not going to be rocked.
She is tall, she is lean, she has an unusual running gait, and very good dribbler, very good ball handler at her feet, and was able to just stay with it in traffic, and a lot of it.
In tight traffic, yes. Little curved ball, trying to take that shot from a free kick. I believe that was Morgan Eichelbarner. Wanting to bend it more. I could tell she wanted a little bit more power behind that ball.
Leonie Weber is pleading her case. This Oklahoma team has some strikers. Weber has 4 goals. Green has 4 goals. Pappas has 6. Pack has a pair, including a game winner against Texas A&M. Morrell has a couple. They've got some people who can put it in the net.
And Oklahoma now they reset. After that goal, they had a little bit of team meeting, especially with the video review time. And now they're making a statement. They're pushing. They're wanting to get on the board.
2-0 Tigers in the 3rd SEC battle of the season for both of these teams. Hermansdottir fighting again. This time cannot control it in traffic. She was taken down, and possession will stay with the Tigers. Hermansdottir had certainly an impressive freshman year.
Cheeseman's going to be on this. She's going to take this
Herman's daughter tailed off a little bit last year at times, but 7 goals already this year.
She battled a little bit of, I think, some ankle issues. But
Just
she
some nagging
seems,
things
yes.
that never allowed her to get
But Herman's daughter-
completely healthy
Yeah.
for a long period of time. Cheeseman punches it on a bounce and misses left as it goes beyond the end line.
Goal kick, Oklahoma.
So goal kick coming for the Sooners. We have played 14 minutes of the 45 in the second half. Galligan with the assist by Ilkic for the first goal. Herman's daughter getting the solo goal, her 7th of the year to lead LSU. That puts her in the top 5 now in goal scorers for all SEC players. That's centered deep in the box. LSU heads it out of trouble. A long left-footed strike to the left side, and it rolls over the inline. Possession LSU. You know, Sarah, you and I were commenting and trying to figure out exactly what was going on, but there is a harness apparatus that the LSU Tigers were wearing in warm-up, and we came to learn that it actually is a very, very sophisticated medical device which, among other things, monitors heart rate, blood pressure, how long you've run, respiration, and many other physical measurements, and really an interesting way to keep up with what's going on, and also can be a detector if there is anything early that appears abnormal.
Well, you're looking at,
And most
nutrition,
players wear it, they wear it under the jersey.
yes, how they've fueled their recovery rate. So many different elements that it helps them understand, what they're doing and gets a better read for them to be able to understand, okay, we need to pull this player off. You're not getting the max effort from them. They are fatigued and they're not playing their best at this level. They need a break.
This is the first corner kick for LSU. It bounces around. Oklahoma tries to belt it out of there. LSU is back. There's a bouncer in the box. The header is long. That went off the head of Jasmine Ferguson. It's going to be offsides. But it's a very sophisticated piece of medical monitoring equipment. LSU is not the only team that uses it, but they've been on the cutting edge of a lot of AI technology and other technology for the safety and the monitoring of vital conditions, important parts of the body's makeup. And also, it's got a GPS in it.
Yeah. Well, and, look at where we are, where the SEC is, where college athletics are now. And for the longest time, pretty much your bigger sport, football, they were utilizing. They've had this type of equipment for a long time. And now all of your programs, multiple sports are getting access to getting to utilize this type of equipment, this amazing technology that helps these student athletes to be the best that they can be and perform at the highest level.
Is it actually able to be monitored while we're in progress? Is there somebody right now who can monitor the players?
It's connected to an iPad, and you're able to see who, like in their name basically.
In real time.
In real time, yeah.
So it's not something you look at a chart after the game. I mean, the information is available now.
I think certain pieces of information are real time available, and then summaries and different things like that are for post game.
So if someone had an abnormal heart rate,
Yes.
low or high, that information is available
Yes.
in real time.
Yes.
That's good stuff, isn't
It
it?
is. It's good stuff. It's real good. You should wear one when you're riding the bike. Avid bikeman.
It's not something I
cyclist.
like, but it's something that's necessary. I mean, I'm 114 years old. You didn't know that.
I think you just made that number up. Now, that was dangerous. I love that cross. Wishing someone was on the end of that.
In the box, can a strike come? Hermansdottir peels back. Instead, they go right side. That's punch to the middle. Header, ball loose in the box. Here comes Oklahoma.
This is where LSU needs to get back. Oklahoma making their way up the field with speed, but they need numbers. They've got to attack this LSU back line with numbers.
Galligan and Hermansdottir have the goals tonight for LSU, coming in the first and second halves, respectively. There's Ida. My assignment for a future game is going to be to go talk to Audi Sheving
Okay.
and Ida Hermansdottir
All right.
and pick up a couple of phrases that we would use frequently in soccer in Icelandic. We'll
Okay.
see if we can get the right spelling, the right pronunciation.
I'm sure everybody will be thrilled for that.
Well, I think it will be fun.
Yeah, I think it would be.
Oklahoma in red. Well, the two leading scorers coming into this match for LSU have scored. Hermansdottir's 7th goal, Galligan's 4th. That breaks the tie with Ilkic. Glover and Ferguson have a couple apiece. You know, here's an interesting note that Randy Hayden has just passed along to me. Mississippi State and LSU are the only two teams to have scored 2 goals against Oklahoma this year. That's pretty good company.
That is great company. LSU making some subs. Right around that 20-minute mark, we're noticing a trend. This is about when they do that. And again, the depth that's there for the LSU bench, and there's no drop off. There's no lag when these substitutes come into the game. They are alert. They're prepared. They go in, and the game levels up. And that's what you want to see happen when you're making these types of changes and adjustments in a game.
We've got volleyball coming your way tomorrow night from LSU on the SEC ESPN network. That is a header, and it goes wide. LSU and Missouri doing battle tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central Time. Weather should not be a factor here from the hurricane bearing down on the Florida Panhandle, but it is going to be a factor in several SEC locations. 2 soccer matches already have been postponed tonight. One at Florida and one, I think the other one was at South Carolina. LSU in gold, trying to get a put-away goal, leading 2-0. LSU now has been outshot 8-4, but the quality of shots for the Tigers has been there tonight. 3 of the 4 shots on goal for LSU, and those have provided a couple of goals. So even though the number of shots is not a big one, the quality of the shots has been crucial. LSU leading 2-0.
And that was the goal. That was the goal for Coach Hudson.
It's kind of like time of possession in football. If you don't do anything with that time of possession, it doesn't matter. It's probably the most overrated statistic in football.
I would agree.
But the quality of the shots tonight by LSU, even though they've been infrequent, has been good enough to put 2 on the scoreboard. This is the first time in 3 matches dating back to the UC Davis 4-3 loss, but the first time in the last 3 matches that LSU has scored more than 1.
And LSU has this brand new video board. Fans can now see a goal the second time, which is exciting and a great, creates and makes for a great atmosphere for these events.
Oklahoma in red, trying to penetrate. That is a save by Audi Sheving as she went to her right to cut off the angle. Sheving stands 5'10", a sophomore from Reykjavik, Iceland. That's the capital of that island country.
Amsden getting to that ball.
Let's see what the Tigers can do with it. Fake right, dribble left, try to punch it with the left foot. Blocked nicely by Oklahoma. Tigers try a double tackle that results in possession for Oklahoma. Coming the other way now.
Good change of pace and good counterattack. Oklahoma taking advantage of the space that they're being given.
Run pass right side in the box, centered and
offside.
Offside by the Sooners. That was the best run in a while by Oklahoma. That's Sophia Green, who had it on her foot. 4 goals this year for Sophia. That's tied for the runner-up position on this Oklahoma team. She also has 3 assists. She started her career at Omaha and is from Allen, Washington, a graduate student. 19 minutes to play, second half. LSU 2, Oklahoma nothing. Well, I don't think I've ever heard House of the Rising Sun during a soccer game. Oklahoma trying to get that run started, and oh! Are they going to count it? Are they going to count it? I think we're going to have a bit of a discussion here.
Sure, we'll be going to video review.
We'll try to get another look at this. It happened quickly.
It was off.
And we will have a video review.
This referee has really worked hard tonight, having to make the run to the video review.
This is the 3rd time that Corey Rockwell has had to take a look at action from the match. This is a very, very big decision.
Let's see what happens. I can't see the shadow. I do not know if when it bounced, if it bounced on the inside of the line.
Now, that was an inadvertent kick.
And she's trying to get to it, and the way that her foot, the angle, so they're.
The goal is confirmed. It's off of an LSU player. So this changes the complexion of the game immediately, as that'll be a team goal. Let's take one more look.
There we go. So bouncing off the lower
Yeah, that is a goal.
Crossbar, and yes, now that you see
That's
the ball
a great
on that
angle.
side, he was kind of like just trying to get to that ball to stop it and deflected it and sent it in and then kind of redirected it into the goal.
So the strangeness continues as LSU provides a goal inadvertently to Oklahoma on an accidental contact.
You have 18 minutes left. Oklahoma is now feeling like, okay, there's a window here. There's a window of opportunity.
2-1.
Can they feed off, build some energy, string some passes together? LSU, they've got to stay disciplined defensively. They've been so strong in their defensive play today. The back line has worked so well. Their outside mids have done a great job tucking in and staying with their marks.
But you can tell over these last few minutes, even before the accidental goal, that Oklahoma is playing with a bit more urgency, pushing it a little more offensively than it did earlier. We've got a one-goal game in favor of LSU. The Tigers have actually scored all 3 goals.
Corner kick for the Sooners.
They have been very infrequent tonight for both teams. This is only the second corner kick. Actually, the third for Oklahoma. LSU needs to get defenders and contest everything. That will come from the near side.
Molly Baker tracking back,
Look
doing
at
a
Baker's
great job.
strength. Takes it away cleanly. That is the strength and the intelligence of Molly Baker to stay away from difficulty.
Ferguson getting up to head that ball. Again, and there's contact there.
Head to head, and LSU people are calling for medical attention as quickly as possible. The trainers for both teams will be sprinting out on the field. Head-to-head contact. It was Leonie Weber.
Oof, not good.
That's Weber and Ferguson, I believe, were the 2 players who cracked heads, and they are both down. That's 31 Weber, who's getting up right now. She appears to be less damaged than Ferguson. Ferguson is sitting up. The LSU trainers and medical people are with her quickly. And Oklahoma will peel back.
Leonie Weber for defenders.
Let's look at this collision between Weber and Ferguson. Both trying to head it.
Oof. Direct contact, forehead to her forehead. She's coming on, and Ferguson has been vital. Despite that own goal and that deflection, she's been vital to that back line and to the good effort that LSU has put in defensively.
This is going to be reviewed. The clock is stopped with 16 minutes and 13 seconds to go. This has been a bit of an odd match. There's Weber holding a cold water bottle to her head. I don't think there's any penalty there. Certainly
no
nothing
penalty.
intentional. Both players playing as hard as they can, trying to get position for the header.
And it's going to be a drop ball to the goalkeeper.
Wow.
You've got
At this moment, it appears there is no immediate damage, but both of these players will be assessed. And Ferguson has been helped to the locker room. They are calling it an even header. Both players going up for it with every right to get to the ball, and an inadvertent strike of the heads together.
That's the definition of a 50-50 ball.
So play resumes. Now 16 minutes remaining. 2-1 LSU, trying to hold on and get this victory in the SEC. Cheeseman punches it forward, but it's on the foot of a Sooner. Sent upfield. LSU will try to reject it.
Tori Gillis did a great job of kind of reading that ball, trying to kind of play the attacker.
Baker is chasing it, but she's not going to be able to get it in front of Wolf. Andy Wolf, a senior from West Bloomfield, Michigan, by way of Michigan State. Cheeseman chasing, but it's on the feet of Oklahoma. Now a takeaway, but Oklahoma brings it right back. That's punched forward by Cheeseman. Oklahoma is there. Both teams trading possessions here in the engine room.
And the ball kind of bouncing around, and no one's keeping possession, kind of getting lost at their feet. 2 or 3 times the ball's at someone's feet, but they don't even know that it's there.
And LSU uses the strength of Tori Gillis, number 21 in gold, to ward off the Oklahoma player, a kinesiology major who had 11 starts last season with no goals and 1 assist. The clock is moving. Less than 15 minutes to go. And actually, they have stopped the clock right now. Green in, McNulty out for the Sooners as Audi Sheving will put it in play.
It's a great goal kick. A lot of pace on that ball, driven, not a lot of time in the air. It's exactly what you want.
This is a dangerous leave of the goalkeeping area by Sheving, but she's able to get to it in time. This game is tighter than the top string on a Texas fiddle right now. 2-1 Oklahoma.
And you see it, the tightness, the compactness, it's all in the center of the field. They're tight. They're not using the space and the width of the field. Both teams, it's very, very condensed. And so that's why the possession count is not high. You know, balls bouncing around and getting ping-ponged around.
14 minutes left. LSU 2, Oklahoma 1.
There's Galligan with the ball, doing a great job of fending off defenders, getting that ball out wide.
This is Gaines, sends it to the middle. Now the punch to the left side, but nobody home over there. There was some anticipation of a player moving to the wing, but it didn't happen.
I like the idea. I'm not sure why there wasn't someone more out wide.
That's Gabby Ceballos you're looking at, number 23 from San Antonio. She started her career at TCU. 13 minutes left. You've got to be aware that Duffy can reach the goal from here.
And she's going to make an effort.
That's sent all the way to the box, headed away. LSU trying to get possession, sends it back to the mid stripe. This is a dangerous play, a chance here for Oklahoma. LSU defending, and terrific work defensively by Cheeseman. That is Sydney Cheeseman, who was tasked with preventing that shot, and that's exactly what she was able to do.
She did a great job defending, and not committing to the fake shot. 1v1.
Goal kick, corner kick coming. Oklahoma will get a foot on it first and punched out of bounds, so it'll go back to LSU with 11:43 and counting remaining in this match. LSU with a goal in the first period, a goal in the second period, And then an inadvertent goal off the foot of an LSU player, which went into the Oklahoma net, the Oklahoma scoring area.
Great read by Amsden, running through that ball, picking it off, basically. Good work.
Duffy comes all the way out of net and prevents that from getting on the foot of the LSU player. Are they going to look at this? I think they are.
See what happens.
That is not a legal tackle in the way I looked at it. But they're
She couldn't get to it. She was
there any contact with the ball before the body hit the LSU player? It didn't look like it. So we'll see what they rule here. That was Caroline Duffy, who was an excellent goalkeeper.
Amsden did a great job just sprinting through. That's how gained possession by her running from the defensive mid.
We'll get the official call.
Penalty kick. There's going to be a penalty kick.
So we will see if LSU can retake a 2-0 lead. A penalty kick coming. Ava Amsden will rip it. This from nearly point-blank range. Amsden versus Duffy. It's in on the left side. Her first goal of the season. And the 12th Tiger to get into the goal-scoring column this year. Ava Amsden, goal, LSU.
The smile on her face says it all. Penalty kick, well taken. Again, another, that penalty kicks are about composure. It's making that decision where you're going to go, doing the same thing over and over and over again, similar to a free throw. Well done.
That is her first collegiate goal. She's a 5'6" freshman from have retaken that critical 2-goal lead. It's a 3-1 game.
Oh.
Keller Matisse comes into the contest for Oklahoma, a senior from Dallas by way of Arkansas.
Kelsey Major has really started to find her legs here in this part of the game in the left side and finding space and becoming, looking for those little quick passes as soon as she pulling the defenders into her and then looking to play those small quick passes either to Amsden or to Galligan.
And in a moment, Herman's daughter is going to come back into the game. So will Glover. And I believe Shannon will as well. That may be the next trio of substitutes for LSU. 10 minutes and some change remain. LSU 3, Oklahoma 1. Tigers trying to add to their lead. The ball is loose. Players are on the grass. And it'll go back to Oklahoma. Is this the most goals that Oklahoma has allowed this year? Yes, it is. Galligan from Ilkich. Herman's daughter, a team goal off of Ferguson. And then that gave LSU a 2-1 lead. And then Amsden, her first goal in her career. 3-1 Tigers as we take a look at the scoring summary.
And for the Sooners, number 13, Kylie Briscoe. Number 2, Meredith King. And number 17, Nevaeh Johnson.
Nine minutes and some change remain. Briscoe in, Clifton out for the visitors.
Galligan looked two
Johnson,
players
the
on
former
her.
Tiger, in for Oklahoma. Morrell out.
The fact that Galligan just made it out with 3 players on her and then getting around them, her ability to hold the ball and continue to gain speed and get around that many players is unreal.
LSU has been outshot 10-5, but has 3 goals on 4 shots on goal.
So lucky bounce there for LSU.
The Tigers will take it. Oklahoma tries to take it back and does so. And Gaines is limping off. She's in a bit of discomfort right now. Aurora Gaines.
Not sure. It looked like
She'll
a
have to stay in
handball.
the game at the moment.
It looked like there was a handball right there by OU. There it is.
Gaines is regrouping. And Cheeseman will put it in play from the defensive side of mid-stripe. It's punched toward Gaines. Can she get to it? She does not.
They're calling a corner kick.
So touch last by Oklahoma. And one of the infrequent corner kicks will be coming. And Sydney Cheeseman, who's the corner kick specialist for the Tigers, will do the honors. Oklahoma has 4 corner kicks. That's certainly not a big number. LSU with only 2.
Cheeseman's going to take this with the right foot, so it's going to swing a little bit outward, like the drive there. No one on the end of it. LSU doing a good job of keeping the ball, though.
And the Tigers with a 2-goal lead with 6.5 to go. There have been some odd moments in this game, haven't there?
There have.
But a lot of hustle. The first SEC matchup between Oklahoma and LSU. LSU with a 2-goal lead can be content to play ball control with less than 6 minutes to play. But you can't let your guard down. This Oklahoma team is very capable of punching in rapid succession goals. Let's take a look at what's upcoming for the Sooners. They will host Kentucky. They will host Georgia. They'll go to Texas. They'll host Arkansas. And then they will be at Missouri in the middle of next month. Right now, 8 wins, 2 losses, 1-1 in the SEC. LSU will be at Mississippi State. That's Sunday. Auburn will be here. The 8th-ranked Auburn Tigers, who don't give up many goals, they're here on the 4th, at Kentucky on the 10th. Texas will be here on the 13th. And LSU will go to College Station on the 18th to play Texas A&M.
You know, taking advantage of your home games and getting wins and a point for ties when you're at home. And then it's super important. You've got to find a couple road wins to be able to get to where you want to go for postseason. LSU needs to continue to build on what they've got brewing right now to take this to a big ranked Sunday match.
LSU looking to add Oklahoma to the win column in the SEC after beating Ole Miss 1-0 and losing to Arkansas 1-0. It'll go back to Oklahoma. And 4 minutes and some change remain. The goalkeeper will strike it again. So they use Caroline Duffy's powerful leg from just about any place on the field. This one is fading.
Duffy playing that one up in the air with some loft and a lot of hang time there.
Ilkic has been assessed a yellow card for the Tigers. There'll be some time readjusted on the clock, I believe.
What a shot. Great save by Sheving.
That yellow card delaying the restart. Bodies are flying everywhere, and look at Sheving. She remained alert. This is delaying the restart. Bodies are flying everywhere, and look at Sheving. She remained alert. This is a line drive smash.
Kind of a lull, but that was a great look. Solid smash. I like the way you put that.
Oklahoma playing with a sense of urgency now. The Tigers get the clean tackle. Oh my goodness. A blow to the head of one of the LSU players who is staggering on all four.
That's Eagleburner, man, and she has been she works hard up front.
And
She's
I'll tell
all
you
over
what,
the field.
Gaines is loopy right now. She's having a great deal of difficulty getting to her feet without discomfort, and perhaps, oh, somebody needs to help her. She is down, cannot get up, staggering around like she's taking an 8 count. That was a powerful blow to Gaines. Watch number 24 right here.
God.
Wow. Looked like it got her right in the head. She's going to stay in the match. I'm not quite sure she knows exactly where she is right now. Was that an acceptable piece of contact?
I don't think so. That seemed a little bit. Eichelbarner was able to touch the ball, so I do believe that it was just a hard hit, and Gaines was not kind of blindsided by that tackle as well.
And we're going to have a kick here for LSU from just outside the penalty box.
This is a Ilkic special right here.
3 times Ilkic has scored in these situations.
Ooh.
And that one is mishit. Not close.
A little high.
So Ilkic, who is so dangerous in those situations, she's got 3 goals on similar kicks, but that time not close. Meanwhile, the clock is moving with 1:25 to go. And LSU enjoying a 3-1 lead. LSU is on the cusp of winning for the 2nd time in 3 SEC matches. A 1-0 loss to Arkansas, a 1-0 victory over Ole Miss, and right now with a minute to play, a 3-1 advantage over the Sooners of Oklahoma. In a situation like this, Sarah, from an LSU standpoint, you are comfortable when the ball is at Baker's feet.
Oh, yes. You want Baker to have the ball.
It is very difficult to take the ball away from her in a one-on-one occasion.
She's very, very good at protecting the ball, protecting herself and the ball.
Just a few seconds remain. The LSU Tigers will win for the 7th time this year against 3 setbacks and 1 draw. They will go to 2-1 in SEC play. Oklahoma is now 8-3 on the year and 1-2 in SEC action. And the Tigers get the hard-fought victory tonight. Only 6 shots, 4 of those on goal, and 3 were in the net for the Tigers as they win it 3-1 and were efficient when they needed to be.
That's exactly what they wanted to do. They worked and worked on that all week with finishing their shots, taking more chances so that they can finish them. And LSU did a great job of defending. They played team soccer tonight. It was beautiful. Oklahoma came in here. It was a grudge match, well matched. Great SEC night for a Thursday matchup. Oklahoma going away with the loss. LSU staying at home and defending their territory and getting that W is huge.